There. Okay. Yeah, almost there. All right, then we are live, right? Okay. Okay, the sound is working, so seems like we can start. That's cool. All right, so for those that don't know me, my name is Haitek, and on these live streams, I talk about what is happening today in the cryptocurrency market, what I think about it, and in the meantime, I explain what Hightech meme coin is. So, Jesus is king, and let's go. Let's flip the screen. And if you guys have any questions, then of course let me know. And hopefully I will not get as much troubles with connection as I did on my previous live stream. And as soon as I said it, I'm getting a little bit of issues here. That's a little bit weird. But not on this one, not on the vertical one apparently. Vertical one is the most important because it gets the most views. But yeah, it pisses me off. Why the hell I get issues with Rumble recently? On YouTube everything goes well, but on Rumble for whatever reason, not really. So yeah, so this is third live stream today on my end, and why? Because the situation is quite interesting, definitely. because because when we look at Bitcoin chart, no, actually not even on only the Bitcoin chart, even on other chart, right? Just a minutes, like few minutes ago, this daily was actually red. Now it's green, as you see, so it's giving a little bit of a different impression. But yeah, I mean, the question you might have right now is this thing going to keep dumping like this? Or is it going to bounce? Finally bounce and give us a rebound. Because, when we look over, for example, to SPYX, the tokenized version of the stock market, or I mean of the SPY stock, as you see, it actually keeps falling lower. And that was the thing that brought us down in the first place, right? Whenever the TradFi session opened and S&P 500 went down, we started to fall too. So yeah, actually they opened around here. Am I right? Maybe not, because uh, there has been time change, so the hour was probably 14:30. Okay, 14:30. So no, they did not change it. So it was here, right? It started here. We had just a little bit of first 30 minutes was good, and then we started to dive, right? Quite aggressively. So since here things are not really going well, are we going to see tomorrow a repetition? Who knows? Maybe. But the altcoin market should start to show us a little bit of a backbone, because we are already in this somewhat no historically proven zone of support. So that's my guess. But with my guesses, sometimes I'm really wrong. In the macro, generally speaking, I'm quite accurate, but let's say midterm, short term to midterm, I usually stumble upon some wrong predictions. I issue some wrong predictions here and there, some wrong forecasts. So that's perfectly fine. Guys, share, like, and subscribe. Actually, let me write here: share, like, and subscribe. Don't lose the channel if you find it. Subscribe. And yeah, and make this channel together with me, because if you participate in a conversation, if you create a dialogue here, that's literally what we do here, right? We create a completely new thing, a completely new YouTube channel. It's always much more efficient. It's much more easy. It's much easier to create content whenever there is some sort of a contact with the viewers. Yeah, the most difficult part is to when you have to talk yourself and create content, especially live. But yeah, SPYX kinda suggests we could have a little bit of a continuation of this downtrend here. But even if that's the case, it should start to encounter a resistance on the day on the day. Yeah, on the day too. Today. On the way down. Just because that has been the case so far, right? And the way we've been selling off recently has been very, very aggressive. So that means there is less and less so-called weak hands in this market. So yeah, that should change the landscape, change its composition, change the way it's behaving. The stronger hands are holding those coins, the more different the behavior of the chart should be. Why? Because it's just, like I said, its composition is different now. Different players remained on the field. So let's take a look at liquidations, because as you probably remember previously, they were quite high, and now they are even higher. $334 million, 324. So 34 on Ethereum, 334 on Ethereum, and 324 on Bitcoin. Yes, it's not stopping. It's not stopping. People are getting liquidated left and right. And what can I say? That's just the way it is. If you trade on leverage, it will have to happen to you sooner or later. That's why I highly discourage you of doing so. Well, yeah, but most of you probably won't listen, and you finally will lose that last share trading leverage. Unfortunately, this one I wanted to click. I got a little bit distracted. So yeah, as I posted, those that do not know, I post about those live streams every single time before I start on my X profile, on my X timeline, no, actually profile. And I also encourage to set a high-tech ticker in the username, repost, and then drop below the post Solana crypto address, because I will always select few people to airdrop them a small amount of high tech. But yeah, now maybe because of the hour, I'm not having too much of participation. And yeah, but once I will airdrop you something, then probably for some time you will not receive any more, because I want to collect. Let's say I want to amplify, widen a little bit the community, engage a little bit more people. So and I don't have unlimited funds to do so, so I have to be selective. And from what I have seen, like some people, they are trying to abuse the opportunity, because they will do everything, and then immediately after they will dump whatever I airdrop them. They will not want to be hodlers. They will not want to be part of the community I'm forming here. And even though this airdrop is actually very tiny, because like 60 cents, they immediately sell it. So that's that's weak. That's really, really weak. That's very disappointing. And whenever I, notice who that is, like what X user that is, I will immediately block them because this is not why I'm doing it, right? I'm here to invite people to my community, not to get a snack in form of 60 cents, right? But apparently that's what's up, right? That's what's up here. There's many people from the third world that that kind of money, makes them a day, and that is why they don't want to wait with it. So we have a little bit of a conflict of interest here. So yeah, to a certain extent I understand it, but this is not the crowd I'm looking for. So that is why, yeah, you sold your airdrop. I'm blocking you. I will not be airdropping you anything anymore. Doesn't matter what you do. And I'm 100% sure, literally 100% sure that this coin here, this chat here will go 50x from here. So they're not really dumping. In my eyes, they're not really dumping 60 cents. In my eyes, they're dumping like $50, let's say. So that's just because this is not the kind of a money you will need immediately anytime soon. I mean, this is just 60 cents. You could really let it sit and let me do the work here. But yeah, apparently, if someone is not giving me a let's say a benefit of a doubt with that amount, then let them go. So yeah, unfortunately, I mean, to be fair, the majority, okay, I must be fair. The majority, they keep their airdrop, so that's cool. So I'm criticizing only those few, that handful of people. Has been like, I think five people already. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Yeah, seven. Okay. Yeah, let me count. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Yeah, seven people so far. So yeah, majority are keeping their airdrop, so that's cool. I learned about something called airdrop hunters. I didn't even know something like that exists because, to my knowledge, most of airdrops are more or less of the size I make them. So around 50, 60 cents. Most of them are like that. So I was shocked that there are people that are actually hunting those. So I have learned something new. I have learned something new I didn't know about before. You know, even though I launched high-tech 7 months ago, I took a completely different approach to how I, let's say, promote it. Completely different than the rest of the scene. So I'm not really familiar with other ways yet that much. So I'm getting used to it, and I'm learning about the craft more and more. So yeah, so most of them are, from what I've seen, most of them are promoted in form of airdrops, which at the beginning appeared to me as nonsensical. But since I started doing it, then I get it. Now I get it why they do it, because to buy a reach from, let's say, YouTube or X is hundreds of times more expensive than if you offer a small airdrop for a repost. You get much, much, much better results. It's like literally 1% of the price you normally pay to let's say social media platforms. So now I get it. Now I get it. But apparently, yeah, that created that niche of people called airdrop hunters. Mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing. I would have never guessed without doing this, to be honest. But here we are. Okay, let's see how much love will I get from YouTube at this time. Because usually I live stream for Miami. I set in the settings, I mean, the location of Miami, and now according to Miami time, it's 8:45 p.m. So that should give me quite some visibility right now, which apparently I'm not getting for whatever reason, and that's interesting. Even though, as you see, the location is set to Miami. Isn't it that people have enough of crypto for at least a moment? We'll see. We'll see. We'll learn a little bit more. The more I live stream, the longer I live stream, the more we find out. So far, only one view. That's very low. Very low. Usually, I get like 50, which is much better than what I used to get. Like, I don't know, a week ago, before I started to live stream vertically. So yeah, but coming back to charts. Sorry for that off topic, but I'm a very talkative person. I like off topics, uh, so I don't mind them from time to time. I'll be talking about something completely, in a total detachment of from crypto market. So that's a folklore of this YouTube channel. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe from time to time it will make it a little bit more colorful, let's say. So where I'm at is actually 4:46 a.m. at the moment. So that's my huge question here. Are we going to continue with this drop? Even if we do, I don't expect us to have another collapse, another huge collapse. That's extremely unlikely. We are going to get something like that. It is possible. It is possible. Everything is possible. Like a brick can fall on your head right now. Possible. There's nothing's impossible. You've seen that poster, right? So yeah, so they were telling you the truth. The truth. Nothing's impossible with Muhammad Ali, right? But it's just extremely unlikely because this zone of support has been working very well for so long. So it's not like we are going to just pierce through it. I mean, we already once done it, and I think those guys, they've done it. They spent their last bullet on it. Some people say it was Wintermute, and there are also rumors about Wintermute going bankrupt. Actually, you know what? Let me ask Grok about it because on my Telegram group, one of my community members, he told me about that rumor, but he said it right. He named it. He said it's just a rumor. I'm not sure if that's the case. So let's try to confirm it. Was Wintermute dated not December, October. Sorry, is the hour. Then let's see. Because apparently there are rumors. Imagine that all of this liquidation event on October 10th was to get rid of Wintermute. Wintermute is a market maker, by the way, that many profiles on X accuse of very unfair unfair play. On that day, the crypto market experienced its largest ever liquidation event. It was literally the largest. Listen, I am in this space since 2015 and nothing has come close. Has come close. With over 20 billion in leverage positions, that was probably much more than that. Wiped across exchanges like Binance and Nana. This led to widespread speculation, especially on X, that major market makers like Wintermute had been nuked or blown up, with users citing unusual $700 plus million deposits to Binance as evidence of distress. However, Wintermute CEO and founder Evgeny Gavoy directly addressed these rumors. He stated on X the day after the crash that the firm had survived the largest liquidation event in crypto history and was perfectly fine, with no operational changes. Gavoy dismissed lawsuit rumors against Binance as complete bullshit and emphasized there was literally nothing to sue over, while noting some of their positions were closed at completely ridiculous prices in what he called very strange liquidations. Wintermute continued posting about market updates shortly after confirming ongoing operations. In short, while the firm faced losses like many others, it wasn't liquidated as an entity. The rumors appear to stem from the chaos of the flash crash rather than verified facts. Okay. But maybe they got slapped on the wrist. Pretty solid. And that's going to make the trick, let's say. We'll see. We'll see. But that theory got me interested, to be honest. Not gonna lie. But as you see, Grok does not confirm it. So yeah. By the way, last time I forgot to talk about gold, right? Tokenized gold, because if something was really going wrong in the economy, I mean, TradFi was really shitlessly scared, gold would pump, and as you see, nothing is nothing like that is happening, right? It keeps descending. It may be in a position to have a tiny rebound here because it looks like it's trying to form higher low, so that will be bullish. That what comes first, right? Before first you get higher low before usually, yeah, before you get a higher high most of the times. So we'll see. But to be honest, if I have to bet on it, I say that gold will keep coming down in this waving manner. I will see. Guys, share, like, and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel because I need it. I need it bad. This channel has been suppressed by YouTube for 2 years. Like literally throughout the first 2 years, it was not showing this channel to anybody. And it's not like I'm complaining. People were visiting it and were deciding, you know what? I don't like this guy. I'm not vibing with him. No. Nothing like it. Like literally I was going into the channel statistics and I was getting 0 impressions, or maybe 2 or 4. What is impression? Impression is how many times the platform shows, let's say, a thumbnail of your material to anybody. So I was getting 2 or 3 per day. If you get 2 or 3 per day, there is no hope. There is no hope anybody will click. It's just not enough of exposure. When you get, let's say, 1,000 per day, yeah, you start to get some views. And I was getting 2 or 3. 1,000 is like you start to get something. You start to get like maybe, I don't know, 20 views per day if you are, uploading like really uploading. So I wasn't getting anything close to that. Just recently, I started to get some exposure, and yeah, and I quickly collected subscribers, so that's cool. But I want to get back the time I have spent with this channel right at the beginning, because I mean I don't know why they decided to do it to me, or what the hell was wrong with this YouTube algorithm. But this is very punitive. I mean, for people that do this type of content and just start. So yeah, so gold is not showing us anything unsettling here, anything that should get us worried. And one of the coins I'm eyeing very closely these days is ICP. Why? Because I have a position in it. I'm allocated into it. To be honest, I'm not sure which expression is correct in English. Position on it or position in it? Because allocation, yeah, that's obvious. Allocation in it, but position. Okay, allow me to ask Grok. What is correct as a trading term? Position in it or position on it? Position on, yeah, it sounds a little bit like an opinion. Position in it is the correct, yeah, in it. Okay, I remember now. I'll remember. So yeah, so the price action on this chart is looking bullish, and given how heavily oversold this coin went, and it has very good fundamentals, because this is basically cloud computing on blockchain. It has me intrigued. It has me intrigued, and I think finally I should start to see a pump on this coin. I do not accumulate it, as you see. I mean, here is my entry point. I do not accumulate it, but I trade it, so that's why it's still of my interest to see how this one is going to play out. And when we look at the weekly, I mean, it has kilometers for the first serious ceiling. I mean, at least in theory, because I don't know what inflation on this coin is set to. I mean, by the protocol, of course, I have no idea. But it's just 12 views so far. I'm not getting much love today from YouTube. Yeah, earlier it was much better. So maybe I should live stream just once a day, because if it's just 12 views, that's nothing really worth of my time. I mean, at least I will make some shorts out of it later on. So yeah. Guys, share, like, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel. Don't forget about doing that. And yeah, let's take a look how the sentiment has changed on Fear and Greed Index. 27, yeah, this is what I was saying, that the sentiment from today will have to be much worse than from yesterday. And it is 27, that's like 9 points reduction. That's big. That's big. But looking at what's going on right now, it will probably get a boost. I mean, this is for the last 24 hours. This is for the last hour. So as you see, the market is trying to recover. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. When I sneeze, it always happens to me like this. I have to sneeze twice. Sometimes even thrice. Okay, let's go over to my X timeline and let's take a quick look what has happened since my absence on these live streams. Because here nothing comes to my mind what else I could comment about. Yeah, so generally I wanted to point out that SPYX keeps trending down here. The last time, as you already know, when this one was showing us we are about to get a high opening, we got it. I mean, it happens fairly often that this chart here gives us accurate information about how TradFi is about to open. So, but who knows? Maybe we will get like, I don't know, within a few hours we'll get another spike like this one here, and that will completely, erase the impression I'm having right now looking at this one here. That's perfectly possible. Okay, now I have 13 views and take it off. I don't like 13s. So, Chainlink to power cross-border CBDC trade. Banco Inter chose Chainlink to enable real-time CBDC settlement between Brazil and Hong Kong under Brazil's direct pilot. That's interesting. Anything is happening on Chainlink, sorry. I'm guilty of calling it link chain so many times. Nah, nothing really happens. Completely nothing. I trade Chainlink too. But at least not yet. Let's take a look at larger time frame. Yeah, so as you see, this one is also sitting on a very, very strong zone of support. It looks very similar to what we see on other chart. Twin-like situation. So I'm expecting a bounce here. I'm expecting a strong bounce. Let's see. I think all of what is going on right now serves to shake out the last tourists, because tourists have been very stubborn these years, very very stubborn, because they've been educated about DCA and they stick to it before they run out of the money. DCA takes a little bit of time to get you completely broke. So I think that's the main culprit why we are waiting for altcoin season so long. So yeah, guys, share, like, and subscribe. Don't forget about that part. If you have any questions, ask them in the live chat. It's always super nice for a live streamer whenever there is any interaction from the other end of the screen, other side of the screen. And you know what? Allow me to maybe refresh this one here, because sometimes once it already happened to me, believe me or not, once it already happened to me, people were actually writing me, and this live chat here was not refreshing, and I didn't see it. I saw it after I finished the live stream, and it was very disappointing because there was an opportunity for a conversation. On my Polish YouTube channel, I have ongoing conversation in the live chat, but I'm approaching 1,000 subscribers there. Here, it's just slightly over 150. So that's why I'm guessing that's the reason. And Bitcoin dominance is another chart that probably is going to surprise a lot of people, because so far as you see, yesterday's daily, I mean, for many people is today's daily, but according to UTC yesterday, so this one belongs to Monday. This is the Monday daily in UTC time. As you see, was very strong, right, on Bitcoin dominance chart. But I think it's very likely that today's candle will be a complete negation of what happened yesterday, and then it will break breakdown here. We will finally go below this uptrending line, and we can start some more serious moves in the altcoin sphere. That's how I see it. This chat is trolling me. It's literally trolling me. Whenever I say, I keep saying that because that's what about to happen. I mean, this chat will not escape its fate. That's just not the way it works. It's like, what would be a good example, to be honest? There was that one guy, I don't know if you remember that there was that one guy who he became famous because he was recording grizzly bears, and he was like, friendly with them. He was, I don't know, going for camping in between grizzly bears, and uh, people that generally not the subject, they were telling him, listen, you should not be doing it because sooner or later they're going to eat you. They're going to eat you alive, and death by the bear is probably one of the worst one you can wish for. And he was ignoring it, right? And the guy, he literally was doing camping with grizzly bears for like 10 years straight until he went out of this, not in the season he's supposed to. So usually when he was, doing his stuff, he was going, I think it was, yeah, it was sometime at the end of the summer. So when the bears were already, preparing for hibernation, so they were already, with, collected fat, let's say, beefed up, right, for the winter. And one time he went in completely another time, right? So usually he was doing that camping stuff when bears were full, when they were just about to hit the pillow, right, with full belly. And once he did it in a completely different time, and what happened? Well, it was his last camping, right, with grizzly bears. So same stuff here, literally same stuff here. Bitcoin dominance has been camping with grizzly bears in the right time for so long. But I think right here it made a fatal mistake of choosing the wrong date, right? The wrong part of the year, and it's going to get eaten up by grizzly bears alive. That's that's what I'm predicting right now, right here. So yeah, okay, let's take a look at my X timeline. Let's see what we are dealing with at this time, at this hour. Just realized 1 year minus 2 days after the last US election. What a difference. Bro, there is a website called CoinMarketCap. On it, there is the Bitcoin 1 year chart. Just realized 1 year minus 2 days after the last US election. What a difference. Like he didn't know about it? Okay. Justine. Billionaire Grant Cardone explains why he's buying hundreds of Bitcoin every time it crashes. He's going to 1 million in 3 years. Grant Cardone, he can afford the risk, definitely. Invested half a mil into Chinese stocks today. Invest in China before it's too late. I don't think that's a good idea, to be honest. 1.2 billion Bitcoin and crypto liquidations so far today. Top 10 liquidations events of all time. Okay, that's a good one then. If it's in top 10, you can't complain, right? You made the history. If you traded futures today and you got liquidated, you were one of those one of those guys that literally made history today. I mean, I don't trade futures, so I don't get liquidated ever. And I recommend you to follow my footsteps. This is the bottom peak pod, hashtag crypto. Oh my. The problem with altcoin daily is that this guy, he's literally 1.9 million followers on X, and you should probably know how difficult it is to get almost 2 million followers on X. It's almost impossible. Like, I don't know who you have to be. And on top of that, in the crypto sphere, that's abysmal amount of following. I don't know how much out of it are bots, but I think you can safely assume at least half of it is real people. So that's still an absolutely insane amount. So he's mainstream, and the problem with mainstream and trading is that it clashes in the biggest way possible because trading is a zero-sum game. So majority funds very very tiny minority. So if this guy is making the mindset of majority, at least in theory, it should be almost always wrong. But there are exceptions to the rule, like in everything. And that exception is when these guys repeat the same over and over again for so long that everyone and their mother ignores them. So even if that's actually what they do because they are practically almost always bullish. So hopefully that's one of those exceptions right now. And even though they tell us this is the bottom, it is going to be the bottom, but nobody will believe them. And that's how it can be the bottom. That's how that bottom will be allowed. Alex Hermosi, a very good friend of mine, he's very impressed with Alex Hermosi. I'm not impressed with him at all. I actually think he is a very bad marketer. I mean, no, I said I said something I didn't really mean it. He's actually a good marketer, but his courses are terrible. So he's only good in selling bad courses. In that in that one, he's probably one of the best in the world. But his courses, I don't think they are good. From what I know, I never have bought any of those, but I heard about them some details because a good friend of mine he paid for those courses, and yeah, I don't think he does a good job there. Conjunctvis, President Trump says Bitcoin crypto is a massive industry. Of course. Bitcoin crashed 50% in 6 hours, exactly 12 years ago, to $120, and then it pumped to 1,175. When in doubt, zoom out. Yeah, but it happened because of a bot. That happened on Mt. Gox exchange, and yeah, the coin was pumped because of a bot. Naive, the man, the myth, the legend, the very discouraging clause. Got to wait until Monday for a bounce, but what a month! And Monday. Yes, that's true. You know what? Let me screenshot it because it's amazingly funny. This guy is absolutely top of the barrel. Bitcoin. Z. So quite a bit of overinterpretation from my disclosure yesterday. In the future, should I disclose? Not disclose. I have no idea what he's talking about. Luke Broyles. Bitcoin has been flat at 100,000 for an entire year. Upside is limited from here. Only a significant change in the economy could alter my forecast. Eh, Now when I think of it, I mean, Bitcoin has withstood 1 billion per day selling pressure throughout entire October and is still above 100K. To maintain its prices now, it has to generate only 1 billion, around probably $1 billion per month of demand. That could be doable, to be honest. And that could be doable from these levels. I think it will have to go higher in order to enter the territory it will not be able to hold anymore. China agrees to resume exports of metals, sorry, of critical metals to the US as part of trade truce. Bullish for Bitcoin and crypto. Fed just did it again. Another 24 billion injection into the US banking system make that 125 billion over the last 5 days. Wow. Yeah, they just, they're just typing zeros on the keyboard, right? That's how easy it is for them to add the money to economy. The goal is to own more Bitcoin, not more monopoly money. Yeah. Okay, guys, I want me to wrap it up. Share, like, and subscribe if you haven't done it yet. And in the description section of this live stream, you will find a tutorial to how acquire high-tech meme coin, which is indirectly my stock market, since this is the only project I promote and I will promote. So whoever ever wants to gain exposure with his business, with the name of his business on my channels, they will have to go through here. So yeah, so that gives it, let's say, a hard use case because of it. And at some point, of course, even this channel will grow much bigger. My primary YouTube channel is doing fairly well and it's growing at a very satisfactory pace. So yeah, I'm guessing things will become interesting here. So I'm just letting you know. Or if you want to, I don't know, send a tip, same. Just get yourself a little bit of high tech, and that will do the job. Purple BTW. Alabama John said he wants to talk to you right now. He also streams on Rumble too. I don't know who that is, to be honest. I have no idea who that is. I'll check him out after the live stream. But yeah, so that will be it, guys, for now. And just subscribe to the channel. Our live stream twice a day or sometimes thrice a day, just like today. So yeah, see you soon.